So please, how can I get that money back? That was my payroll money. How am I supposed to pay my employees? What am I going to do? I've been in the IT industry for about 20 years now, but what a lot of folks don't know about me is that for 12 years, I was a servant of the community. I was an officer of the law, a sworn deputy sheriff right here in Lexington County. And I heard that story more than once from some poor business owner whose employee clicked the wrong link, or maybe they made a dumb decision, followed along with an email chain, replied, did some stuff, sent a wire transfer, and the money from that business is just gone. There's nothing we can do about it. For those of you who don't know banking regulation, you have approximately 2 days to dispute any transaction in your checking account. It doesn't count for your Visa cards or American Express or anything like that, but your business checking account, you have 2 days. I got tired of hearing that story and not being able to do a darn thing about it. So I left the sheriff's department, continued to grow my IT company, and have focused on education for business owners and individuals to help keep them from being victims of cybercrime. My name is Chavous Camp. I'm the CEO of Carolina Innovative Research. And recently, it seems I've been a multi-state man of mystery. I'm an award-winning cybersecurity innovator. I'm a best-selling author, frequent speaker on technology on national stages, including the Harvard Club in Boston. And most recently, I was featured on local TV stations across the country, on Fox, and my personal favorite, AZTV 7 in Phoenix, Arizona. I just got back from doing the 2 of those segments just a couple of days ago. It was fantastic. Personally, I was born and raised here in Columbia. Well, okay, we're in Lexington, right? Other side of the river. Other side of town, that's where I'm from originally. As I said, I was 12 years as a veteran of the police force, 10 of those here in Lexington County, 2 of those as a state constable. I was able to work statewide, but I generally worked with Lexington County and finally just decided to join their ranks officially. I am married to the lovely woman in the back of the room, Andrea, who's wearing the lovely green. That's usually not her curly. Usually you'll see her in a nice little blue like that. And I have 2 kids, Helen and CJ. Helen is a precocious 5 years old. CJ will be 2 in January. They are both adorable, and they miss Daddy when Daddy travels. A good referral for me, before we get into anything else, and I start talking about my toys over here, a good referral for me is a professional services business, or really any business who's just concerned that maybe they aren't well protected against all the things that go bump in the internet at night. Hackers, crackers, and scammers, oh my, which, by the way, is the title of my new book coming out October 15th. Okay. We target specifically professional services firms, accounting, medical, legal, engineering, and similar. Those folks have specific requirements, insurance, specific financial requirements from various regulatory bodies that say they have to do certain things. Okay? Those make great leads for us. Other businesses make good leads for us. So any business that falls into that category of at least about 10 people, and they're just not sure, makes a good referral for us. Our clients have included a home builder, one of my personal favorite stories. We rescued them. They were one of my good friends years ago. They were a client of one of my previous companies before we decided to shut it down after the lovely financial collapse, 2008. I managed to limp it along till about 2011 before finally sticking the knife into it, okay? They were a client of that one. They left. They went somewhere else. And unfortunately, July the 1st, 2018, I got a phone call sitting on the tarmac in Charlotte Airport from one of their owners. Chavous, we're in trouble. We just got hit with ransomware. Our IT company, they didn't quite handle it right. They ran a restore. Unfortunately, the backups were bad. We just lost 6 months of our ERP system. Now, these guys are home builder. That means 6 months of budgets, 6 months of accounting data, 6 months of sales information, 6 months of prospects. They had no more financials. They were done. Quite literally, they would have had to spin down the company, spin up a new entity, try to figure out some valuation for what was left over there, transfer the assets, and hope that they could convince their insurance carriers, their banks, and everyone else they do business with to continue extending them credit. It was a true disaster. Now, they were calling me, hoping, maybe just maybe, that I could rescue them. Their actual expectation was that I would help them rebuild their ERP because I happen to have been an expert in that system. I said, let's take a step backwards. Let's take a look, see what we've got. I will fully admit I did not expect much, but we managed, with some absolute expert technical help from one of my dear friends up in Charlotte and some magic and a lot of hard work, we managed to restore 100% of their data. To the extent that a week and a half after that phone call, they went live again on their old system, as if nothing had changed. The only difference is now that system was hosted in a data center in Charlotte with a firewall in front of it that nobody in that company could freaking touch, okay? So even if something bad still happened in their office, they were protected. They became a client. And instead of shutting down or having a fire sale or losing a large amount of valuation in their company, 3 weeks ago they were just acquired by Toll Brothers for an undisclosed amount, a very high multiple, and all of those owners are now sitting pretty. Unfortunately, that means I just lost a client, so I need y'all's referrals, okay? No, seriously, I'm very happy for those guys. They just got acquired by a fantastic company. They're the #1 home builder in America. Around here, we've never really heard of Toll Brothers. If you haven't been outside of this area, you probably haven't dealt with them. They build higher-end homes. They're in Myrtle Beach. They're in Wilmington, North Carolina, Charlotte. And now they're in Greenville, Myrtle Beach, and Charleston markets. And here's hoping they don't come up here, because they do a very good job and they will put some other people out of business. So that's what we do. And companies like that, home builders like that, professional services like that are good referrals for us. People who have had a cyber incident. Holy crap, we need help and we need protection to make sure this doesn't happen again. And folks who are scared that it's going to happen to them so that we can come in there and make sure that it doesn't. Because my goal is 0 cyber victims. This is why I'm going around to TV stations talking about this. Because when I go to TV stations, I can't talk about business cybersecurity. Businesses aren't watching those shows generally. Every now and then you might get somebody with a sick kid, they're staying at home, they're watching it, right? Generally, we're talking to women aged 25 to about 55 on these TV shows. A lot of times, those will be running the finances in the house. They'll be the ones that if they make a mistake, a cyber mistake, and become a cyber victim, they'll be ruined. It could ruin their life. So that's what I do, and that's why I do this, so that we can get to 0 cyber victims. Which brings me to the next part. I want to talk about the 4 blunders, the computer blunders that you may be making every day. My banking and insurance people, I'm going to exclude from that because you guys go through security awareness training at least twice a year. Some of the banks, they go through it 4 times a year, right? Where's Angela?
Yes.
Yeah, there she is. Yes. Yeah, she was the one who's telling me they did it 4 times a year, right? 4 blunders. One of them is brand new, and even my banking people might not know this one. It's the low battery blunder. Recently, they released a new hack. Someone is putting a chip inside this cable. You connect your phone to this cable, you connect your computer to this cable. You get a standard error message that if you have an iPhone you've seen a dozen times connecting it to your computer, do you want to trust this computer over USB and Wi-Fi? And what do you tap? No. Say trust. That's what you do every single time. You're like, oh, yep, this is my computer. Trust. That's not asking you, do you trust the computer you connect to? It's asking, do you trust the little chip that's been inserted in that card or that cable? And that cable's now broadcasting a Wi-Fi signal that a hacker nearby is able to actually get on. I'm not kidding. They actually have a Wi-Fi signal built into that cable, and someone about 30 feet away can be on it. Where'd you get your cable? Did you pick it up at a convention, trade show, gas station? Where'd your friends get their cable? Where'd your family? You borrow a cable from your brother, your sister, you're over at their house. Hey, can I get that cable real quick? I need to charge my phone. Do you know where they got it? Scary stuff. This is 0 day. This stuff came out literally a few weeks ago. Most people don't expect that. The second one is the password problem, not having a secure password. It's 2019, people, we shouldn't be talking about this, but you can't use your dog's name, your kid's birth dates, or fluffy 123 as your password anymore. Now, most people realize that. Okay, Chavous, you know what? I came up with something, Clemson graduate 2017, and no, I'm not a Clemson graduate, okay? Clemson graduate 2017, 123, exclamation point. Great. How many websites have you used that on? Oh, well, I changed it up a little bit. Let me guess, you add an exclamation point to the end of it? Oh, nervous laughter from everybody in the room. I love it. How many people did I just guess how you change your passwords occasionally? Okay? 2. Yeah, 2 or 3. Okay, guilty as charged for a while. Okay? I'm the IT and cybersecurity expert, and I was guilty as charged. There are apps now in 2019 that will handle this for you. My personal favorite is one called Password Boss. It's a few dollars a month. It's worth it. The other one that I like a whole lot is LastPass. 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 Different password, random password, not something that you can remember, not something you're going to ever even look at on every single website. The app tracks it for you. Automatically inserts it into that web page when you log in. It works with your phone and it works with your computer. And it keeps you safe. So, how many people here shop at Target? Those of you who do not have your hands up are lying. You know that. Okay. If you shopped at Target, the username and password you used at Target is now on the web, in what's called the dark web, because that was part of the breach. I also got credit card numbers, that kind of thing. So if you used that username and password, your email address and password at Target, that password's now floating out there for hackers, crackers, and scammers to try on everywhere else. Use an app. Change your passwords in each place. That way, website gets hacked. You don't have a problem anymore. Okay, who cares? I lost that password. We're not reusing it anyway. The next one, and this is going to be the last one. You know what? This is a toy we'll talk about later. The last one that I'm going to talk about today is going to be awareness. Know that you are a target. You may not believe you have anything of value for the hackers and crackers and scammers. Oh, I don't have anything of value, Chavous. Nobody would want to hack me. Yes, I promise you, you have information that's valuable. Your identity, your social security number, your driver's license, your banking information, your health records, all of that can be used at the very least to impersonate you to your friends and family so that then the bad guys can get stuff out of them. You may not believe that you have anything of value, but I promise you, your friends and family, they think their stuff pretty valuable. Do them a favor, if nothing else. Know that you're a target. Any questions? What you got?
What happens if that little app that changes the password something happens?
Good question. Okay, the way that app works, the way all of those apps work, the password, you set one master password. That master password is an encryption key. The people don't keep it. So if LastPass or if Password Boss gets hacked, all the bad guys get is a bunch of gobbledygook. And you make sure that the password you use on that's not one you use anywhere else. And it's something that you can remember. If something happens to that app, yeah, you got a problem. Okay? But that's also why I recommend keeping a backup of everything that you do on a hard drive. Attached to your computer, you disconnect it, you keep it backed up every now and then. That way you've got a spare, just in case.
So
Anything else?
Kind of like the same thing they do at the banks where they ask all the members to sign up for protection for your information, for your bank account stuff. And I had the same question, what happens when the bank gets hacked and everybody's accounts and information's all in one?
That's a little bit different. That actually is a little bit scary. That scares me. I got a couple other things on that one I'll tell you about later that absolutely made me shake in my boots. Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Talking about that cable that we all use to plug in our phones and stuff like that, typically you buy it at the flea market, the gas station, truck stop, something like that. Where do you suggest they're bought?
Find a reputable dealer on someone like Amazon, or heaven forbid, I hate to say this because I feel like it's throwing money away, buy a legitimate lightning cable from Apple, okay? Some of the better brands you can get on Amazon, you can get good ones. Make sure they have good reviews, make sure they're not a fly-by-night company, make sure they've been there a little while. Anchor is a brand of these batteries. I believe they also make some cables. Some of the ones you can find on Amazon are quite good. You just have to be very, very careful where you're buying them. Anything else?
How did it originate? Like, how the ones that were infected with the little bug or whatever, who discovered this and where did it come from?
No, it came from a guy actually trying just to hack people at DEF CON, which is the great hacker convention. They created it as a proof of concept and then started mass producing the cables. And they literally made them look exactly like the cables that come in your Apple box with the little tags around it and the cardboard and everything. It was brilliant. Now, I think he made 50 of them and distributed them around DEF CON. It's being mass produced now by a company called Hack5. Now, Hack5 works for the good guys. How long till you think the bad guys are going to manufacture it? It's not going to take long.
Thanks for letting them know.
Here's the thing, if they didn't find it, somebody else would, and it's better that we know that it's out there and exists instead of it being hidden and we don't know that it's there. Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Is it true that October is also cybersecurity?
Thank you for mentioning that. I neglected that. October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. October is Awareness Month for like 18 different things, including domestic violence and everything else. But yes, October is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Thank you.
This is when the people are trying to raise money for charities.
Yep. Anything else? Thank you very much.